Okay.
Good morning. Vincenzo Bassi speaking, the president of FAFCE. This is the fourth FAFCE dialogue. We are very happy to be here in Ljubljana, in Slovenia. Thank you to the minister of the Cigler, Kralj, the Minister of Labor and Social Affairs, Family and Social Equality for hosting us. This is the first time that we carry out this dialogue in person, even though, you know, you are on the other side. This is an hybrid way of carrying out this dialogue. But this is very important because now we can better exchange our experiences and implement the real meaning of this event, which have not be events which have not been taught to have a strong debate. We like just to have an exchange of views, to overview the future of our countries, departing from the communities, having the awareness that we are talking about also our continent, Europe. I already introduced the minister, and we say that now we are organizing this FAFCE dialogue in a special moment for your countries, because everybody knows that there is the Slovenia EU presidency, and the minister chairs also the meetings of EU ministers of labor, social affairs, and the consumer affairs. Our idea, as I said, is to try to create a mood, a common sense on a demographic challenge. And I think that this challenge must be the priority of the European Union as a whole. But we can go on and we can reach this goal only if we depart from the communities and from the countries. That's why we need to speak with the ministers like now we are doing, because only if you understand very well the needs of the communities, you can speak about the families. Because we said many times, the families is not a model. The families is an example. They have the same goals everywhere, but they have different needs. So it's important to apply the subsidiary principle departing from the communities. And what I think you have to do, and what I hope that you can do, is to let everybody accept the fact that without families, we cannot have communities. And without communities, we cannot have any future in Europe. So now I give the floor to the minister, and I hope to spend together these hours in a better way, and increasing our awareness of the importance, the crucial role of the families.
Thank you, dear Mr. Vincenzo Bassi, dear President of Federation of Catholic Family Associations in Europe. Thank you for inviting me to your dialogue.
You are hosting us, and
I'm hosting, but you propose. So
yeah, it's true,
also in family or between men and a woman is very important. One proposes, the other one accepts, and together there's something good that can come out of it. Dear participants and listeners over internet, also good morning from Ljubljana, from beautiful Ljubljana, to you too. I'd like to thank you again for the invitation and proposal. I'm really familiar with your 25 years work, through which you cherish family and its role in today's society. Especially my friend Igor Vok from Iskreni recommended me that we connect, and I'm really glad we had this nice
It's
phone.
the second time.
Yes, it's our second time. We already had good phone talk, and then we agreed to have also this together dialogue. And fortunately, we can have it here in Ljubljana live. I'm also father of 4. Me and my wife Claudia are already married for 15 years. It was 15 years this summer. So I think because of that, I can better understand the needs and the needs of the families and the way of life we live nowadays. Because as you said, dear President, dear Mr. Bassi, the model is maybe similar, but the needs are different in different countries. And this is very valuable. The personal experience is very valuable, but also I have to, as a minister and my team, we have to act on big data sometimes. So it's really neat to combine those different levels of thinking and experiencing things. In times of big and quick progress and changes in the society, family remains the most important core. That is what we always say, the important core and safe haven for most people. We have also seen in the data on COVID crisis and the COVID after COVID impact, societal and psychical effect. Children, youngsters, people who live in family, with the good relationships and everything, are more resilient to such a pandemic as the COVID and all the consequences, to the lockdowns, to individualization. They're more resilient and have less problems now after COVID than people who are more vulnerable, do not live in families, do not have both parents maybe, or live in any other vulnerable circumstances. So when you said, and I say, family is an important core of every society, today, this statement is, I don't know, not only said, but it's experienced through data on post-COVID time. So, but if we put COVID a little aside, demographic challenges and demographic winter in Europe, Pope Franciscus just was talking about it on the way from Slovak Republic and Hungary. He said demographic winter, they represent one of the biggest issues that the European Union faced in the past decades. It's also a fact for Slovenia. And let us briefly remember some statistical data. We can observe from Eurostat data that the number of births is dropping from 1960. On average, women give birth to 1.53 children. This is not enough to maintain the European population stable. Besides, the mean age of women at childbirth is rising, which consequently means that women have less children. And that is the fact. The fact is that also our population, European, Slovenian, and I think in the most of member states, is aging. And the data show that in 2020, or 2030, more than 1/5 of the EU population, or 2020, more than the fifth of the EU population was aged 65 and over. By the end of the century, this share is expected to grow to 31%. And the share of people aged 80 years or above in the EU's population is projected to rise to almost 15% until 2100. This is our reality today, and from what I already pointed out, this issue started back in the 60s. This clearly shows that one of the EU key priorities is how to achieve sustainability. This issue is already addressed in the EU Green Paper on Aging, which was presented in January 2021, and it is promoting the life course approach. Well, how to address these demographic challenges? We can address them in different ways with combination of different measures. How we approach aging is one possibility, migrations another. Sustainable work is also crucial because, especially in Slovenia, demographic challenge will have a huge impact on labor market in the next 15 years. The active population will shrink, and our economy will have a big problem. And these are all extensive areas in which we could debate for hours or in special sessions. Today we are here about family and the life of families. Today we focus on the family policy in Slovenia. Probably you want to hear about our policies, our measures in Slovenia. And I want to present you different measures which we took and we will take, and with them we want to maintain the high quality of life of Slovenian families and make it even better. And it's not only about money. It's not only about money. Money is important to support different programs, measures, policies, but we know today that it's not all about money, especially not in families. There's a lot of big importance of time which can be spent together in families, and it becomes almost as important as the money that the family gets. So in today's world, with that intensive life, a lot of work, labor market is really pushing and stressing people, and there's no time to spend together with your spouse, with your partner, with your children, and that could be another problem for the next decades. I'm sure that you know that family policy in the European Union remains the responsibility of member states. So we have a broad opportunity to take measures which we find or we think that will be appropriate for our families' needs. And when speaking about Slovenian environment, one has to know that family is together with health, that is very important, on the top of the list of values of Slovenian citizens according to all surveys. And so family policy is clearly very important to people in Slovenia. Especially, it is really interesting that especially young people, we have special polls on young people, and they value very much family, and
they have desire.
Yes,
of families,
yes,
of having a proper family.
Yes, they wish proper family, but the challenge is how to help them, support them to really then after, I don't know, after 5-10 years establish their own family, because something this value vanishes somewhere from on the way from education to work, to active work, or their own life. So it's a challenge how to help them to live their after their wish or value, which is really high.
It's very interesting, and I think that you already answered to this question when you spoke about the importance of the family during this pandemic time. Because what we notice as family association is that the worst during this time, more than lack of money, lack of job, was the loneliness.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that we have much more. We have to speak much more about the loneliness, and a solution to the loneliness is the family itself, but also the network of families. That's why I think that we have to promote as much as possible the creation of family of networks, because much more than the state, the family association can help families not to be alone. And this is the one issue to be developed, I think, also in the future. Mm-hmm. And you have spoken, it was very interesting what you say about the time. Normally, also in Europe, what we do as a FAFCE, we speak about, we try to do initiative on work-life balance. Mm-hmm. Work-life balance is a crucial point for the women, for the father, for the men, for the women. And now as you said, I am father of 3 children. You are better than I am. I would like to, because when we talk about the sire, we have to say that everybody wants to generate 1 more children than they have. For example, I would like with my wife Carla another child. Okay, we have 3 and we are very happy. But I really appreciate your responsibility. We say joyful responsibility. Can you tell us some words about the joyful responsibility of the women? Because it's a very tough argument for us as a man to speak about natality, and we know that. Those who carry on a very important, crucial, essential role are the women, and the women are those who must be brave. And I think that we have to speak also about the joyful responsibility of the women. Can you tell us something about also the freedom of the women of having children, because we speak always about the choice of the women, but no one wants to speak about to go in detail, speaking about the choice of the women of having children. Can you tell us some reflection on this issue?
I could tell you a lot personally and as a minister. I think that this joyful responsibility, great word, really. Thank you for proposing it or putting it to table. Joyful responsibility is really one of the ways to our future, to a better future. I think that the key is in very good, deep and quality relationships between men and women. I really experienced how important it is to have a lot of preventive programs to prepare women and men, and both together, on their manhood, womanhood, and partnership. And I think with such a good preparation and support, with opening all the questions, or at least most of the questions that arise during the partnership, during the family life, in advance is really needed, and it is of a great importance to support especially women to feel their freedom of having children, or combining work and family life, or I don't know, also their career options. And in Slovenia, now I'm talking as a minister, we are developing also this part of our policies. We have quite good options for short-time scheme for parents, which is really used a lot by women who want to also develop as their career, but they want also to have enough time to spend with their children, especially preschool children. It is focused on parents of preschool children, and the state pays for the difference when they're not working. The state pays the insurance, health insurance, pension insurance, and other insurances. And already my team raised this payment, because before, until last year, only for the minimum wage insurance was paid, but now we pay the real amount that they got before they entered this short-time scheme. So we want to give women or men who decides to stay more time with children. We want to support him or her, and want to give this possibility of joyful responsibility, as you named it. And personally, I think that mostly we men are those who make the final decision about the number of children we have. That's really my personal opinion, and I really believe that we have to empower also men, and to learn men how to love their wives, and how to give them all the love and support needed, that they can really feel their freedom about having children. Not to I don't know, not letting them to have children, or not to force them to have children, but it has to be common decision. It has to be not only decided in a dialogue, but it has to be in a feeling of each other. They have the man and wife have to feel each other, and this wish of
I agree with you. I think that the women must not be left alone. I mean, the children are children because they have a father, they have a mother, and the mother must not be left alone. And I think also as family associations, we must speak about that, because it's not just a choice of the women, is a choice of the women. We join together with the men, with the husband. So
this is very important, Vincenzo, what you pointed out. The women must not be left alone, because more and more women they feel alone. Let's say I'll be honest and very direct. We hear a lot from church representatives. Have children, have as many children as possible, more children. But the experience of many women, mothers, is they are left alone. I don't know, with 3, 4, 5 children. Men are working because they are breadwinners. The money is needed for the ordinary living, and there is no support. Maybe if they live apart from the, grandparents, it could be very hard experience. And it's not fair that mothers are left alone. I think the support is needed. The network of families is very, very, very important in this case. And also the parishes, church should organize, and I mean it, should organize and give all the support to parents that have more children, because it's not enough just to put pressure on parents. Have more children, you are young, you're healthy, have more children. Church teaches us be open and everything. No, it's okay to give, to make, to encourage. Yeah, that's very, very good. But it has to be, the whole picture. You have to give also support, and not to be for mother and fathers not to be left alone after they have children. And having children is a very joyful thing, but from day to day it could be really, really, really hard work.
Especially if you are alone, as we said. Now, let's move a bit to an European context, at European level. And how is the Slovenia presidency of the EU working on one of its most important priorities, the demographic challenges? Is it this difficult, tough, or we could hope that demography will be the priority of the future of European Union?
I have to tell you that I don't think that demography is put on
the top of
agenda in the European Union in general. I think we are only starting to feel and to accept that something will have to be done, because otherwise all the subsystems of our union will fall apart. Because very simple, we won't have people to do things, to live, to pay taxes, to, I don't know, anything.
The life.
Yes. And we can see some member states that are already, I don't know, investing in family policy or demographic policy for, I don't know, for the last decade, let's say. And I think they're a good role model for other countries. As soon as possible, we should all go with special measures to change this demographic winter to demographic spring. But if we start now, the impact will show, I don't know, after 10, 15, 20 years. It's a long distance walk or run. But if we don't start now, it will be totally too late. So, and our role as a presidency, this half of year until December, we wanted to stress the importance of this time together and of combining work and private life balance. So one of our priorities in the field of families is to address the field of work family life balance through different flexible forms of work that could give more time for the parents to be with their beloved, with their children, with their wives, men. So that is our main goal in this presidency priorities. But otherwise, we address the importance of demographic changes to at least have our have a chance for our future, because otherwise we can't imagine what will happen in, I don't know, in 30, 50 years.
So now we are going to the end of our wonderful dialogue. I hope that we can continue this dialogue in other times. But we have spoken about investment. We've spoken about investment. So it means that families are not consumers. We invest, because when we buy a car for our children, when we invest in education, we invest. We do not consume. And you say that was very clear that we cannot have any sustainable development without intergenerational balance. I mean, it is something very, very clear. But there are also European issues. And for example, if we speak about Maastricht criteria, we cannot achieve the Maastricht criteria without young generations, public debt, inflation, deficit spending, and so on. And so, in your role, maybe can you do anything in trying to recognize the role of the families for this sustainable development? Everybody speaks about human capital. Can we invest in human capital without families? And if we agree on the fact that human capital and families are joined together, can we have any chance to convince also others that this is crucial for the sustainable development of our continent?
Very important thing, and our task is to change minds and to change hearts of the people. For the families or for the young people, in the beginning, you remember that we talked about how high on the value list is family for young people here in Slovenia. First or second value, and somewhere, somehow, this value disappears, vanishes when they are starting their own active life. So for helping them, for supporting them, not to lose this important value of family, and to live it after they start their own life. It is important that we change our society's relationship to families. We say that three important things are needed for young people to decide about to start their own family. It's a job, it's apartment, and the most important is the relationship of the society, the feeling about family. So our goal is to go with the not only measures, but projects that make family popular. Living in family have to be trendy, have to be attractive and joyful, yes, as you said, joyful responsibility. So we have to step together and to join our forces, our strength to make this joyful experience, and also have in mind that it can be really tough at the moment or in some time. So we have to help there where it is tough, and also to help with money, not that anyone would have children or decide about family because of money, But I think, and we think, that no one's standard may fall because of family. You know, we have to help families to have at least the same standard as they had or they would have without children. It wouldn't be right that if they would decide because of money, you know, because we talked before that the wish for children, for family, has to come from inside, from the loving connection between man and wife. But we have to support them also with money and give them opportunity to keep the standard of living, which is common for our time. So to conclude, the family is certainly not cost. The family that brings young people and is joyful, has a lot of joy, is our hope and is our investment in our future. And me and my team here, the ministry, are supporting, are following this way, this vision, and we will follow it further as long as we have an opportunity to decide about family policies here in Slovenia, and now as we have a certain role with the presidency of the EU.
Thank you very much also for your passion, because we need example, Minister. We need example, because we say all the time that family is not the sick, but is the care of the sickness. Mm-hmm. And without families, we cannot solve any problem. Without families and the network of families, we cannot also solve the problem of the loneliness. Mm-hmm. We need to encourage people. And we do that not because we want to recognize privilege to the families, I think, because just for, we do that, we claim that for justice reasons. It's a question of justice, because everybody can concur to the public expenses. There is somebody who wants to pay taxes, somebody who pay taxes and do some volunteer jobs, and having children is a way to take care of the future and the common goods. So we are sure that the family is a private institution that has a public relevance, and we support your job, your engagement, because from a European perspective, what you need is to be able to show examples and results. Because when we speak about family as an investment, it has an impact on the European rules, budget rules, and to say that, to convince that we need the results. So we very much support your effort, and for everything you need, we are here to support also argumentations, experiences, and so on. And we hope that we can build up a real alliance between countries, European countries, that are interested in solving this demographic challenge. Really, I mean, I appreciate very much, and this very nice journey to Slovenia has been one of my most interesting experience as president of FAFCE. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you, dear President, dear Vincenzo, and you're always welcome here. And I really count on a whole network of FAFCE, and I wish you good work, and I hope we meet again soon.
Grazie mille veramente, grazie.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.